close. What is happening, everybody? Mr. Bowler here. Today we are going to do something we have not done on this channel yet, and we're going to drill a ball for my left hand. And we're going to walk you through the whole process. We're going to start from the beginning. We're going to take a ball out on the lanes. We're going to measure my PAP. Then we're going to use that and explain what a PAP is. And then we're going to use that to help our layout. And then we're going to get out on the lanes after we drill the ball and see how bad I am left-handed. So buckle up, stay tuned. It's going to be a great episode. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Or follow whichever platform you're on. Give us a like. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments, okay? First step in this process, I'm going to throw this vibe, and we're going to see how my track flare is to determine my PAP, which will help us lay out the ball. No laughing. Maybe this left-handed thing isn't that hard after all. All right, y'all, at this point, we've got my track flare lined out, and now we're going to use an armadillo, which is this beautiful piece of plastic, to determine my PAP. So Thomas, show us how that's done.
It's pretty simple. You spend the extra money to get a fancy tool, and all you really have to do is line it up, and it's going to tell you right where you're at.
So that's my PAP right there?
Yep.
So PAP stands for positive axis point, which, Thomas, that's where the ball stands up out of my hand, correct?
Yeah, that's the spot that the ball's rotating around the second it leaves your hand.
And why is that important for bowlers?
Well, basically it lets us pro shop operators orient the core inside of the ball.
So that way each ball rolls uniquely to the bowler that it's for.
Right. Nobody's going to get the ball exactly the same off their hand as the next guy.
Right. So this allows us to have custom layouts so we can really control the ball reaction. And for someone that's going to be messing around left-handed, I'm going to need all the help I can get.
So you're pretty far over there. You're 6 7/8 over and just a quarter up. You're pretty low tilt.
Low tilt. Now if I could just teach myself how to do that right-handed. All right, and right here we've got a twist. I'm just starting off basic. You know, this is what we start a lot of customers in, is a twist. How many twists do you think we sell in a year, Thomas? Close to 100?
Loose count, man. There's a lot of twists that go out the door.
Yeah, it's because they're great balls for a great price. I mean, we sell them for $135 drilled.
So we're going to use dual angle layout on this one.
Okay. What does that mean?
Well, usually you have a drilling angle, a pin to PAP, and a VAL angle. So first we'll do the drilling angle, which on a symmetrical ball isn't the most important. It's more important on an asymmetrical ball.
And you're doing this backwards, right?
I'll do it for a left-hander, yeah.
Yep. Us lefties always got to complicate things.
We're going to go 50 on the first angle. We're going to go about 4 7/8 on the second angle.
So a long pin.
Longer for your high rev rate, since you're not going to have any thumb in the ball on this left-handed drilling. And since it is a weaker ball, I'm going to go a little stronger again on the VAL angle at 35.
And what's the VAL angle? What is that?
The VAL angle is the vertical axis line angle. It's a little more complicated, but generally it's just going to control how quick your ball wants to read the spot when it does try to turn over.
So 35 is going to turn pretty quickly.
Yeah. 45 is probably neutral. You know, down from there is smoother and up from there. Sorry, a smaller number than 45 would be quicker, and a bigger number than 45 would be slower. It's, you know, general rule of thumb.
All right, so now what are you doing?
From here, we've got the first angle at 55 right here.
Yeah, and then you measured
4 7/8
distance.
inch pin there. And the last 35-degree angle right there.
All right, perfect.
From here, we're going to go back to this number on the old ball, the PAP.
6 7/8 by a quarter.
Yep, we'll go down a quarter here on the vertical axis line.
Because my PAP is up, right? So we have to go down.
Yep, we're mapping it backwards. And then we're going to have to go to 6 7/8.
Well, and this thing is 6 3/4 to the edge.
Right, so we got to make a line here.
And then scoot it over.
Scoot it over, you know, maybe.
Add a 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch.
If we're at 6 1/2, we need to go to 6 7/8, and that's 3 more 1/8 of an inch, so we'll do it right
6
there.
3/4 to 7/8 is only 1/8.
The 6 1/2.
Oh, you're going 6 1/2.
This is 6 1/2.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was saying the whole half of the prosect is 6 3/4, because that's 1/4 of the circumference of a bowling ball.
Okay, so then that measurement
So that's my center of grip.
should be your center of grip. And we'll put a bridge line on there since you're two-handed. And we'll punch that with the holes right on the line.
Let's see that
That'd
thing in
be
all
your
its glory.
layout.
And is this going to be legal with the CG kicked way over here?
It should. There's a lot of wiggle room for two-handed players because you don't have a big thumb hole out here taking out a lot of the bottom weight.
I think that's important information for every bowler to have.
Yeah. And if you're worried about your layout being legal or not, you can always have your pro shop operator measure the static weights.
All right, guys, we just finished up measuring my PAP and laying out the ball. So now we get to do the fun part, and that's fitting. And the thing with my left hand is it doesn't have arthritis like my right hand does, so we're gonna have a little more freedom with what we can do.
Yeah, but it's not super easy to test your own flexibility or fit yourself at all, so that's why Mr. Bowler's having me do it here for him.
Oh, Tommy Two Hands, earning his paycheck. All right, so what are you measuring first?
First, since you're just a no thumb bowler, we don't have to worry about span. I'm just gonna start checking flexibility. I'm gonna hold this joint here steady and just see how these fingers like to bend. You're definitely not the least flexible person ever, and you're definitely have that arthritis in your right hand. Your fingers are a lot less flexible. The other thing
Still
I'll have you
crooked,
do is,
though.
yeah, I was just looking at that. If you look at the alignment of these, it's a little crooked off to the left. So I think we're gonna make a lateral pitch adjustment with that finger to the left. So we're
Gotcha.
gonna go probably just an 1/8 and 5/8.
That's just the opposite of my right-handed laterals.
It is.
And
but
on my flexibility, I know you got to add a lot of reverse to two-handers. What do you add to this?
Well, since you're not gonna use your other hand, I've found a lot of people that are no thumb one-handers prefer a little less reverse in their fingers. They want a little more forward just to get a little extra lift.
So that's
I'm just gonna go 3/8, 3/8 for you. You're a lot more flexible in your left hand, and you really want to be sure that you have your fingers locked in there, because you're not gonna have another hand on the ball to keep your fingers in it.
All right, so all right, first step back here. What'd you do? You're gonna line the ball up, make sure it's straight.
Yep, we've got it lined up in here. Might actually turn over this a little bit. Get our axis line level.
Yeah, because if it's not, then our pitches don't mean anything.
And since your reverse is the same in both, I'm gonna go ahead and preset that first.
So 3/8 converts to 375 on a decimal. It's jumping around a little bit, but we're talking about
There you
that's
go.
the 10th, 100th, that's the 1,000th place on a decimal. So if it's missing by 0.005, it's not the worst thing ever.
Set your pitch for your middle finger. Almost said ring finger because I forgot we're going left here.
Yeah, and guys, remember I'm doing this left-handed thing just for a fun summer league. I'm left-handed at a lot of things, so I should probably bowl left-handed. But here we go, locked in, time to make some noise.
Locked it in and I moved it. Silly me. Alright, there we go.
Yeah, we didn't go through all that trouble getting the PAP and mapping a layout out to be off.
Switch me sides.
All right, what are we trying to line up here?
I'm just checking to make sure that my bridge line looks good, and if you see it right there, we're perfect. So we
Perfect.
just got to get lined up to that original bridge line. Maybe scoot just a touch this way. Lock it in. And
You know the internet trolls
Push the
will
hole.
tell you if you miss by 64th.
64th. It's a lot.
A miss is a miss. All right, so we got the first hole done. We're changing the pitch over to the left side, so that's a positive number because we got our little cheat sheet right here. Fun story about positives and negatives. It's not all drill presses are the same direction on positives and negatives. And if you made it this far in the video, comment down below and I'll tell you the story.
This machine will need before this ball touches the lane, we just need to get an X on it.
I could call that the Chad Murphy X.
Yeah, make sure you mark that palm side.
Yeah, we don't want to throw the ball upside down by accident. Got my grip sizes, 11 middle, 43 ring, which is crazy because my right hand is 3 middle, 47 ring. So that's what you get for when you bowl for 30 years with the same hand. But that's why we're going to have a switch and have some fun. All right. We just got this off the drill press. We went through the whole process, measuring my PAP, putting the layout on here. Now we've got the grips glued in, and it's time to bowl. Hey, you want a surefire way to get the 10 pin every time? Drill a ball left-handed and throw it without your thumb. So you've noticed by now I'm wearing Hoka's and not bowling shoes. My bowling shoes are going to be here Friday. And yes, I did order a pair of left-handed shoes just for this. Oh, hang on, baby. Hang on, baby. I almost said I'm the greatest, but the left side beat 2 Walt. We're talking about switching hands here. I bowled right-handed for 27 of my 30 years. So switching to left hand is going to be a bit of an issue. So y'all don't judge me in the comments, okay? This is hard. It's better. I got 5 more than last time, or 4 more than last time. Still a work in progress, but like I've been saying, I'm not left-handed. I do a lot of things left-handed. But this is going to be more of a headache than I thought it would. Let's see if we can get a strike. Nope. I think if I quit grabbing the ball, we'd have a lot more success. But that's going to do it for today's video. I obviously have a lot of practicing to do, so thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 1,000, and let's get it done. Peace.